Good afternoon and welcome to the 2022 Winter Recital. My name is Hillary Billups and I will be your MC this afternoon. Before we begin, we ask that there be no flash photography and that you take a moment to silence your cell phones. Also, we ask that you take advantage of the care room, which is located just behind the welcome desk, if a young one becomes restless, or perhaps in the event you need to take a phone call, so that we can minimize the distractions and maintain focus of the students who have been working very hard on their music and are excited to share their accomplishments with you today. Much appreciation to all of you for being here and supporting these artists as they grow and hone their musical skills. The first work is a traditional Jewish song of blessing, closely associated with the season of Hanukkah. The word shalom can be used to say hello, goodbye, peace, or wish someone well. When one uses the phrase shalom havarim, it isn't merely a greeting, but conveys the hope that in whatever the recipient may endeavor to do in their coming or going, they may have peace and blessings on their journey. This is why we felt it appropriate as we find ourselves coming into this performance space today from the hustle and bustle of the busy holiday season that we begin with a work of this nature. Our ensemble now opens our recital with Shalom Havarim. The next selection is said to be the second oldest secular Christmas song. It was written in 1864 by Benjamin Hanby, who was an educator, an abolitionist, and composer who wrote the popular anti-slavery song, Darling Nellie Gray. His house, which is located just across the street from Otterbein University in Westerville, is now a historic site for his accomplishments, including his work on the Underground Railroad. Nicholas Raymond now presents Benjamin Hanby's Up on the Housetop. Good job, baby. We Three Kings. John Henry Hopkins Jr. was a journalist and studied to become a lawyer before becoming a member of the clergy. In 1857, in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, he composed a song for a theater performance in New York City that would 6 years later be published and became the first widely popular Christmas carol written in the United States. We will now hear Garrett Wills present We Three Kings. In 1857, James Lord Pierpont composed and published our next work. It is speculated that originally it might have even been a drinking song. Over time, it gained popularity and is thought to be the first ever recorded Christmas song, having been recorded on an Edison cylinder. Its popularity soared quite literally to new heights when in 1965, the astronauts on Gemini 6 performed it in space. Jingle Bells will now be performed by Mazi Linda. The following piece conveys the wishes of a caring father as he gently sings his child to sleep. It is a contemporary work written in the last 20 years and achieved the #1 slot on the U.S. Billboard charts in 2006. We will now hear Joseph's Lullaby, played by Tyson Kumarowski. Emily Huntington Miller composed a poem in 1865 that describes an individual telling St. Nicholas what everyone wants for Christmas. Interestingly, the individual saying all of this to Santa never asks for anything for themselves, but leaves it up to St. Nick to decide what to bring for them. Josiah Cosner will now share Jolly Old St. Nicholas. In 1959, the Rodgers and Hammerstein musical The Sound of Music opened, winning 5 Tony Awards, including Best Picture. A few years later, Julie Andrews would sing the following number from the production for a TV Christmas special, and then go on to be Maria in the film adaptation. Throughout the years, the show has seen revivals, tours, and even a TV production. Tara Ratzel now offers my favorite from The Sound of Music, My Favorite Things. Who here doesn't know Snoopy or Charlie Brown? For nearly 60 years, a Charlie Brown Christmas TV special has become synonymous with the season, with its charming characters and message of goodwill. Vince Guaraldi created the music for the show with his unmistakable jazz styling. In 2007, the special entered the Grammy Hall of Fame, and in 2012, it was added to the Library of Congress's National Recording Registry list of culturally, historically, or aesthetically important American sound recordings. Steve Ratzel will now present Christmas Time is Here from A Charlie Brown Christmas. Apparently, even a hippopotamus makes it on to wish lists of Santa. In 1953, that's exactly what 10-year-old Gayla Peavy sang on The Ed Sullivan Show. This led to the Oklahoma City Zoo and a local newspaper launching a fundraiser to acquire Matilda the hippo, who lived at the zoo for nearly 50 years. Here to play the humorous 1950s chart topper, I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas, is Nathan Ratzel. Donny Hathaway wrote and recorded the song This Christmas in 1970. Initially, the song saw little success, but as time went on, it gained acclaim as many artists began to cover it. The Temptations, Gladys Knight, Patti LaBelle, Diana Ross, and Seal, among others. In the last 10 years, it has made the Billboard chart's top 25 songs for Christmas. Wilma Hatton will now play This Christmas. The next piece traces its text to monasteries between the 8th and 9th century CE, with its melody originating in the 15th century France. This quite possibly makes it the oldest work on the program today. It is typically heard in religious settings during the 4 weeks prior to Christmas. Coupling the ancient with the modern, we now hear Matt Cole present a jazz interpretation of O Come, Emmanuel. doesn't always know when inspiration will hit. Songwriter Gene Autry got the idea for the following selection in 1946 after riding his horse in the Santa Claus Lane Parade, which is now the Hollywood Christmas Parade. As he traveled the parade route, he could hear parade spectators exclaiming, "Here comes Santa Claus." Along with Oakley Holdman, Autry created a now beloved Christmas song that has been covered by many artists, including Doris Day, Bing Crosby, Elvis Presley, the Beach Boys, Willie Nelson, RuPaul, Billy Idol, Mariah Carey, and Pentatonix, just to name a few. Lily Billups will now perform Here Comes Santa Claus. The next work is based on music that can be dated to at least the 1650s. The era in which this piece originated can lead some modern English speakers to misinterpret the title, "God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen," to mean one should rest and be merry. Rather, the title means, "May you have peace and happiness." Here to present a contemporary arrangement of "God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen" is Jack Linda. this time, we would like to take a moment to recognize our amazing team of volunteers that have helped to make today possible. Our hospitality crew with Marlene, Jason, and Sherry, our audio-visual team, Michael, Bill, and Rhonda, and Amy and Chris, who assisted with the program. So thank you so much for that. Before we conclude our recital, we want to remind the students and performers to gather here at the piano after the final selection so that we can take a group photo. After that, everyone is invited back to the parlor for cookies and refreshments. Also, students, make sure you find Andrew before you leave so he can give you your certificate. And lastly, we want to check and make sure that all students have had the opportunity to play and that we haven't missed anyone. Great. The last piece today traces its text origins to the Middle Ages, and the tune dates back to the 1300s. One might describe it as lively and dance-like, inviting the listener to partake in the merriment of the season. A number of master composers have utilized the melody in their own works. Master composers such as Dietrich Buxtehude, Johann Sebastian Bach, Franz Liszt, and Gustav Holst. Andrew Willis will now perform his arrangement of In Dolce Jubilo. if we could get all of our musicians to please come up here to the piano for a group photo. You want to do it over here? Absolutely. Just fill in, guys, on the stairs. And squeeze in just a smidge. Yes. Yep. Yes, I'm going to move it.